Hi, Ashley here with HeartHookHome.com, and today we are learning how to crochet one of my finger cuff yarn guides. In order to make our crocheted finger cuffs, we're going to use a cotton or a cotton blend yarn. Here I've got Hirschner's Cottage Cotton. This is a 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, and it is a worsted weight, so this will work beautifully. I also have a crochet hook in a 3mm size that we will use to make it. You will need a yarn needle for weaving in your ends and a pair of scissors. Let's get started. We are going to start with a chain 12. Now I'm going to form a circle with my crochet so that I am looking at the first stitch made right here, and I'm going to do a single crochet in the back bar there. And then in each bar around. So this is the back bar of those chains. Now that I've got my 12th stitch, we're going to make sure that we are all looking at this the correct way. So I'm going to pull my tail out through the bottom here so that we can get that oriented. There we go. All right, so now we have a circle that we are ready to go into. So now for the next row, we're going to start with that first stitch that we made right here. This is that first single crochet that we made. We're going to do a single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Make sure these are good size. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to do a single crochet in the back loop only of the next 4 stitches. So this back loop only right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure we're not getting that inside out. So now we've got those 4 that are worked into the back loop only. Now we're going to do the rest of these. There should be 4 more regular single crochets through both loops. We have those loops, those front loops are going to be left open for our finishing touches here in a little bit. We're just going to work in a spiral until we have 6 rounds total. And I'm not counting this even. I'm just going to do single crochets, working in a spiral, and then here in a little bit I'm going to count my rows and we'll see where we're at. So I'm just going to continue in this spiral. Okay, so now that I've made it around to my tail here, I'm going to count my rounds just to see how many I have. And you can do that with me. So here we've got the first one here. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to do 1 more round of those single crochets before we fasten off that portion. And I'm just going to make sure that I end directly above this yarn tail right here. I'm not really counting and making sure that I end on a particular stitch. All right, so here's our yarn tail. Let's just look straight up. I'll do 1 more. And then I'm going to clip my yarn. Since I've got my 6 rounds now, I'm going to clip my yarn. Pull that straight on through. We're going to do an invisible join. So I'm going to weave in the ends on my pieces so far. So in order to do this, I do have a dedicated tutorial for the invisible join, should you need it. I'm going to pull that yarn straight out just like this. I'm going to go into the next stitch here, front to back. Hold that down here with my thumb, and then I'm going to go into the other half of that stitch, just like so. Make that look like a stitch, and then we're going to weave in the ends. So real quick, I trim that, and now let's do the bottom. All right, now that we have the actual cuff portion done and ready, we want it to be nice and snug so that it's not moving around a lot, because this is going to be our guide. So we want this to be nice and stationary. Now we've got these 4 loops from round 2, right? Let's go ahead and create our little holder, right? Our yarn holder, our yarn guide. So you're going to find the first front loop that you missed right here. just insert into that loop and pull up a loop. Okay, now we're going to hold that so it doesn't go anywhere. Chain 1, make it nice and small because you don't want it too bulky, and do a single crochet in that same space. Just a single crochet right there. Beautiful. Now do a single crochet in that next loop, and the next loop, and the 4th loop. Beautiful. I like to make sure this one is a little bit tight. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and now I'm going to do a single crochet in each of those 4 stitches. I'm going to do 5 rows of this total. So this is row 3 and row 5. And so now we are going to do a chain, right? So we're going to do a chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if your hands or if your fingers are smaller or larger, you can adjust this chain right here. This is going just over the tip of your finger. We're going to line this up so that it looks like a circle, just like this, right? So I've taken my chain and I've come all the way back around so that we can go into this single crochet here. So just sneak it in there, just like this, for a single crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to just do a single crochet in each of these chains around. And normally I would go into the back bar, but for these I'm just going to kind of go into the top of them here, going under both loop if possible. This one. When you get your final stitch done, you're going to go ahead and clip your yarn, pull it straight on through, and now we're going to do the same thing that we did as far as weaving in the end. So this is our beginning tail right here. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Just put that somewhere. I'm going to see this loop right here. It's a little bit big where we joined, so I'm just going to pull that just a little bit, make it nice and snug, and now I'm just going to weave in that end. Let's do the final, and then our little finger cuff will be ready to use. I'm going to make sure this is lined up nicely, just like this. We're doing that invisible join. And again, I have a dedicated tutorial for that as well. So now I'm just going to weave in the tail here. And we are done. Okay, so now in order to use our little finger cuff yarn guide, so what we're going to do when you sit down to crochet, you're just going to slip this on your finger, just like this. You can use this to kind of get it into position if you want to. You can kind of pull on that. Now you will line your yarn up across here like you normally would to crochet, and you're going to slip this over your finger. So now you've got it, and if you want to, like I said, you can make this chain a little bit longer if you want to, so that it can kind of go over the crochet here to really hold it in place, or you could just kind of have it there as a guide. And so now as you're crocheting, you're pulling your yarn just like this, and you're not getting it that deep groove on your index finger, and you're also this is holding it nice and steady for you so that it's not going anywhere. What I love the most about this design and why I did it this way, so that you can take this off and remove the yarn so that you're not locked into using this, so you don't have to clip your yarn to get out of the yarn guide. So I hope you love this finger cuff crochet pattern. It's been freshly updated on the Heart Hook Home blog. It's one of the oldest patterns there is, and now it is fresh and fancy and ready for some crocheting. I hope you love it. Talk soon.